So, hi you guys. I lost my father a few months ago, and I just wanted to come on and do a video and, just document this whole experience about how I'm feeling my first year knowing that I don't have my father, then also dealing with complex CPTSD or complex trauma or CPTSD, and also healing my father wound. So I just wanted to, come over here and talk about all those things. There's a lot of layers to what I'm feeling. There are a lot of complexities between the relationship that I had with my father. And I just want to share them and explore them with you. And hopefully it'll help you along your journey, maybe with your father on this Father's Day. So, hi, planted seeds. I'm Blossom, and here we talk about all things healing, growth, spirituality, and manifesting money. If that sounds like your vibe, subscribe, join this tribe. So, yes, you guys, a few months ago, I lost my father. And today's Father's Day, of course, and I'm feeling lots of different emotions. And I started feeling all of these emotions a lot, I would say, the last few days when I realized, okay, Father's Day is coming up. And Father's Day in previous years has been complex for me as well, because me and my father didn't have the best relationship. Because like I said, I do have complex trauma. And I just found out that I have complex trauma / CPTSD within the last year. So he passed a few months ago and he had cancer. And so I am experiencing a first in my life. So this is the first Father's Day that I'm not going to have him, or that I'm not going to be able to reach out to him or even try to contact him. And it's just interesting. Like, before my dad passed, I really hadn't seen or talked to him for like 3 years. I think it was 3 years. And he developed this cancer and he was going through that journey. And I know it was really hard for him. And he had been like basically healthy his whole life. But in this video, I also really want to talk about my inner work journey, because like you guys know, about a year ago, in June of 2022, I had a spiritual awakening. And that spiritual awakening was really the catalyst for my inner work / my healing journey, healing from childhood trauma and really resolving a lot of the unknown issues that I had. And I'm really at the end of this dark night of the soul that I've been going through for over a year now, and it has been really rough on me. And then a few months ago, I lost my dad. So it's been really rough for me, you guys. It's been tough. And now I fully understand and really understand what a dark night of the soul is, because I had the wrong perception of what it was. But what it really is an ego death, or it's the dying off, or the kind of like rapid releasing of these old parts of you that are no longer serving the truth of who you are, like the real truth of who you are. So anyway, I'm at the end of that journey, because I'm at the releasing, detaching part of it. But anyway, so before my dad died, I had already started my inner work journey on him last year after I had my spiritual awakening. One of the major breakthroughs that I had was, oh my God, I do not have to be perfect anymore. Like, I don't have to be perfect anymore, because my dad is like, I'm a grown adult and I don't have to be perfect. Nobody's expecting me to be perfect. I don't have to get perfect grades. I don't have to act perfect. Like, all of this was stuck in my subconscious, and all of it was a program from mainly my father, just expecting a level of perfection, not not really perfection, but just expecting a level higher than I really should have. I shouldn't have been held to such a high standard as a child and as a young adult, especially because I have been through so much shit in my life, y'all. Like, I did not have a great childhood. I do not have a lot of great memories about my childhood. My father did abuse me and neglect me and emotionally abuse me. And so, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. So the standard that I was being held to for some reason, like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But last year I had a breakthrough moment where I finally realized, like, why am I, like, I'm trying to hold myself now to this standard. So I was held to that standard as a child, and that's just the programming that I learned. And so I was holding myself now to a higher standard that I shouldn't hold myself to, because I've been through way too much stuff to try to hold myself to that standard. And it's really burning me out and really stopping me. It's making me self-sabotage the things that are meant for me, because I'm trying to hold myself to this high standard that I don't need. I don't need to do that. I freed myself from that. And that was just like layer one of the traumatic shit that I need to work through to heal my father wound. So I had already started my inner work journey on him, and I was coming up on the end of this inner work journey a few months ago, like right before he died. So I was coming up on a feeling like, okay, I'm ready to talk to him. I'm ready to see him. I am ready to forgive him. I'm ready to release resentment towards him. I'm ready to heal and grow through this. And I was like really coming very close to that feeling. And I normally try to do something before I'm ready. That's one of my things. I like to try, like right before I feel like, okay, I'm ready to do this. Like right before that is when I try to make myself do it. And I kept feeling a nudge to contact him, to let him know, like, I'm in Chicago, I'm home, I would like to see you and just say hello and like talk to you and wish you well. And I wish that I could have told him that I loved him and that I care about him and that I am hoping that he gets better and, you know, stuff like that. And I kept feeling the nudge for like 2 weeks right before he died to like reach out. But I also have compassion, and I didn't reach out. And so that's a big like regret of mine. But I also have compassion for myself because I was going through so much at that time. I was deep in depression from this healing journey that I'm on. And I just have so much an abundance of compassion for myself because I just was not in a great mental state. I was deep in depression, like I said, and I don't know, I have compassion for myself. I really do. So his death was really a catalyst for me to like really work on those last few things about him. And really start to make sure that I go ahead and look at the myriad of things that he has contributed to in my life that have served me, and more importantly, that haven't served me or do not align with the truth of who I am. So the traumatic memories, like I said, I suffered physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, neglect, and lots of other things. Like, so when he died, it was just like, okay, any other inner work journey that I had going on had to like take a back seat, and now it's the catalyst to make me work on it, to like really make me see the ways that he's impacted my life. And it goes so deep that it's scary. And even last night, another thing was revealed to me about like the trauma that he has really contributed to in my life and how it's molded me into the person that I am today, and how it doesn't align with the truth of who I actually am. So for instance, last night it was revealed to me that I do not get my hopes up about things on purpose because I do not want to be let down. And this comes from my dad used to always promise me that he would come to my graduations. So I distinctly remember asking him to come to my middle school graduation, and then he said, no, he's not going to come to this one. He'll come to my high school graduation. And then I asked him to come to my high school graduation. And he was like, no, I'm not going to come to your high school graduation. I'll come to your college graduation. That's the one I'm really waiting on, like making all of these promises. And then I graduated. I have 2 degrees, so I have an associate's and a bachelor's. And I graduated with my associates, and I asked him to come to that, and he didn't come. And he was like, I'm waiting on the 4-year graduation, and I was so excited for him to come to my 4-year graduation, to my bachelor's for me to get my bachelor's degree and see me walk across the stage. Like, I really wanted him to show up for me. Ooh. And he did not come to my college graduation. Of course he didn't, right? And it was so many broken promises. And so how that has shaped me now after the fact is that I won't get my hopes up because you ain't about to let me down. I'm just not going to get my hopes up, and I'm not going to count on you, and I'm not going to get my hopes up. And it's like a guard that I use to protect myself that I hadn't even really fully looked at or noticed until last night when it was revealed to me that you don't get your hopes up because you don't want to be let down. Because that's what your father did every single time you got your hopes up that he was coming to your graduation. He made all these promises that he broke. And this has shaped you, and this has molded you into the person that you are today. And I'm glad I saw that, because now I can actively work to heal that and to say, you know what? I deserve to be excited. I deserve to count on people. I deserve to be excited about people showing up for me. People will show up for me. People do show up for me. And I need to assume the positive instead of assuming the negative, because you are a mirror. I mean, the 3D reality is a mirror for whatever you're experiencing. So if you think that people are not going to show up for you, if you purposefully don't count on people, you won't be able to count on people. Like you're looking at your reflection. The 3D reality is just a mirror. So you really need to do your inner work, and you really need to investigate your childhood trauma and your father wound. Yeah. So that's that. And overall today, for Father's Day, I'm feeling good under the circumstances. For this to be my first Father's Day where I know my father is not here, for me to have lost my father a few months ago, for him to have contributed to so much of my childhood trauma and to so many of the ways that I've held myself back, and to so many of the hardships that I've experienced in my life, for all of this stuff to have happened, I feel like I'm doing very good today. I'm going to take aside some time for myself so that I can work through any emotions and feelings that are still continuing to come up today. I'm going to journal through those things. I'm probably going to write my dad a letter in my journal to really get out some of my feelings and emotions. And I'm really going to just look through, because I have wrote in my journal, like in bullet points, like he did this thing, or I do this because of this. So I like have a whole page or two of all these things that are the correlation between why I do what I do that come from him. So I'm going to look at those again. I'm going to investigate those things. I'm going to feel my emotions. I'm probably going to cry. I was crying last night. And I'm just going to move through them. This morning, I also did 2 meditations. If you're following me on TikTok, I shared the meditations there because I feel like I am holding a little bit of resentment, but I feel like I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to forgive him. I'm ready to be free. I'm ready to move forward with my life. And I'm ready to change those patterns of me that were created as a result of the things that he did and did not do to and for me. So I'm in a really good space mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually with the situation, all things considered. Let's see. I wanted to also touch on how the father wound can hinder your money manifestations, because any and all wounds, okay, and traumas and inner work stuff that you need to do is probably hindering any and all manifestations that you are working on right now, conscious manifestations. Because don't forget, you are manifesting, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, whether somebody taught you that or not. You're continuously manifesting your life all the time, but nobody taught us. So whenever we figure that out, I call it conscious manifestation, because now I'm consciously manifesting what I want or my desires, because I'm aware that I am my point of attraction and that I get everything I want all the time, no exceptions. So what am I being? What am I attracting? What am I being? What are my thoughts? What are my words? What are my beliefs? What are my actions? And how am I working on myself to resolve anything inside of me that doesn't coincide with what I want, what I desire, what I'm manifesting, what I know that is the truth about myself? Because now I understand or understand the truth about myself is I'm pure love. I'm pure divine consciousness. I deserve pure peace, pure love, pure joy, pure happiness all the time. There's no limit on me. Everything is abundant. I'm pure abundance. And I'm sitting here in this universe, conscious, conscious in an abundant universe, okay, that we can't reach the ends of. We don't know how big this thing is, but we on one of the billions and billions and billions and billions of planets, trillions of planets that exist. And this is a very interesting experience. Okay, that was a tangent. But anyway, your money, your father wound and your mother wound and any other traumas or traumatic experiences that you've been through, or just experiences that you've had that haven't been traumatic, can be blocking, stopping, hindering your money manifestations. And I'm going to give you an example from my personal life story. Like I was saying about the grades and perfectionism, right? So my dad had this thing. I remember my dad had this thing where when I was like in middle school, he would give me like $10, or he would promise me, and he broke a lot of his promises, okay? But he would promise me like $10 for an A or something like this. $10 for an A and $5 for a B and no dollars for a C. And this was kind of a way, I guess, that he would try to incentivize me to get really good grades. And I really had / probably still have a little bit of resentment about, why would you require a child that has gone through so much in life to try to strive for A and B grades? Like, why are not C grades good enough for you? Like, why? But anyway, he used to put a value on how much I could achieve in school or how good of grades I could get. And this is a program that has told me for my whole life, until I realized it, that the harder I work, the more money I earn. And that is not true. That is a false, very limiting belief that most people have. The harder you work, the more money you make. This is not the truth. This is a very limiting belief that most people have. And now that I've figured out that the harder I work does not equal to the more money I make, now I can create a new belief for myself, and I can transcend and I can act accordingly. But for my whole life, I've been this overachiever, trying to strive for perfection, do the most, be the best, and just working hard, working myself into burnout and adrenal fatigue for nothing, because hard work, in fact, does not and has not equaled more success or more money for me personally. So on the contrary, harder work means less money because I've burnt myself out, especially now that I know that I have so many undiagnosed mental health issues. I definitely shouldn't have been doing all the stuff that I've been doing for my whole life, working as hard as I've been working. And so it's very important that you investigate your father wound. It's very important that you go on an inner work, healing from childhood trauma type of journey, so that you can uncover these deeply, deeply hidden shadows, and so that you can work through this stuff, and so that you can open yourself up for God, your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual team to reveal to you things that you have never, ever seen about yourself. I hope that you can move through your emotions in a very healthy way today. Give yourself grace, give yourself time, give yourself space and attention to journal, to meditate, to feel your feelings. Do not push your feelings down. Do not push them to the side. If you have the capacity, okay? Feel your feelings as much as you can, because that's going to help you to release them. Yeah, I hope you received and taken away something amazing from this video that can help you along your journey. With love and so much compassion, I am sending you good vibes. Sending you good vibes your way. I'll see you very, 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 very soon. If you feel up to being transparent about your relationship with your father, I would love to hear some other point of views or perspectives on father-daughter relationships, because I'm very into the relationship dynamics between child and father and child and mother, because that is the root of most of your current problems, and most people have no clue. Most people do not know. Most people are in the dark, completely walking around clueless about why they're going through what they're going through, and they're going through what they're going through because of their childhood and whoever raised them, their mother, their father, their grandparent, their foster parent, their aunt, whoever you were raised by, and whoever had those beginning influences over you have mostly shaped who you are today, because you're being programmed. You're in a different brainwave state until the age of 7, 8, 9. And really, you're in a different brainwave state until your brain fully develops around age 25. So you don't really know what you know until like age 26, 27, 28. That's when you start like... Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, Planted Seeds. Sending love and compassion to you, and so many good vibes. I will see you in the next video. Bye.